Okay, here's my thoughts about the Yakuza 7, Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's a very long game, and I'm really tired of it. I loved some of the time that I spent with it, and I hated some of the other time that I spent with it. But overall, I think it's a good game. Alright, see ya. Nah, that's not how it's going to be. I will still more, I will explain what I think about the game still. So, as I said before, it took a very long time, 80 hours approximately. I tried new games while I was playing it, but I didn't want to distract myself from it because it was a commitment. I really wanted to complete this game. And the main problem with the game is that it is a Yakuza game. And Yakuza game is more about side content than the main content, usually, at least in my opinion. And I think many people share that opinion. So, what is Yakuza? What are the Yakuza games? Yakuza games are basically a window into the world of Japanese mass culture with its weirdness and glory intact. It is a game that meshes up criminal drama, interpersonal conflicts, naked dudes sprawling each other, with a lot of really weird stuff like collecting porn cards all over the city, like playing with the toy cars, singing karaoke, moonwalking all over the street. It has everything that you could ever want from the Japanese game. And since it is franchise that holds on really well. I think they are doing very well, and in my opinion, because the Yakuza game, Yakuza games, they remain fun. They want to be fun, and that's what their goal is, to be fun, not to be distracting, not to try any cash grabbing, just to be really fun and exciting games, and that is great. That is what I like about these games, and I want to try more of them. So the main meat of the game, that it is a reboot of the series of sorts, not completely. It is more of a new chapter in overall franchise, because in previous six games, not really six, more like seven games or even more, the main character of the game usually was Kazuma Kiryu. The well-known guy, the John Yakuza, as some people know him. But they have decided to reinvent the game formula in RGG Studios, and they have come up with the idea of a new character that is somewhat a polar opposite of Kiryu. Kiryu was calm and cool kind of guy, some I heard somewhere that the developers were intending him to be like Clint Eastwood, like the main inspiration, and I would disagree with how it is turned out in some ways, but I can see the inspiration in terms of manliness, in terms of classical masculine figure. Ichiban, he is somewhat different in that regard, where Kiryu was calm and collected. Ichiban is, he's fun and cheerful, and he's very friendly, and it is tough not to like Ichiban. And the biggest one change in overall formula was the swap from the action brawler kind of game into the turn-based RPG fighting, and well, we'll get to that later. I admire the idea at least. Um, but the story is, it's mostly the same, the same style, it has its drama, it has its fun, it has its charm, it has its melodrama like it usually does in Yakuza games. A little bit of a change, though, is it is a little bit different from the other games in terms of you usually play as Kiryu or some other character, and the game focused around him and that character only. Here, though, you play as a party of characters. Kasuga usually has some of his friends follow him around, and that's how he fights. He almost always fights in a group. He rarely fights in duels, which was the main drama point in previous games, and that sets it apart because you know if you play Persona games, especially Persona 4, you might notice how the quality of writing significantly decreases the more characters are on the screen. Like when your main character, interacts with some of your party members one on one, they are three-dimensional, they have their interests, and they have their flaws. But when the whole party, you know, goes and talks with someone, they're like all, flat noises and flat voices. They don't have, mixed opinions in the party almost never, especially in the dungeons. They are dumbing down significantly when they are in a group. Here it is not that. It's not that bad, at least. But in some moments, a party, gets unusually quiet for Ichiban to do his own, personal things. But when it goes over in the late game, it is understandable because they love him so much. They are grateful to him because he helped them so much. So it's not that big of a deal. But it still could be kind of weird when they are just behind his back and just standing there, or like a fan service, like someone pokes finger in your party member. Oh, you're a perceptive one. Oh, you're a cool one. And it's obviously a passing of a torch moment from the old games to the new games. And the fan service is noticed in a good way, I mean. But still, it could have been handled a little bit better, I think. But as I said before, the main meat of the game is not the main story, it's the side stories. And the quality of writing in the side stories is usually better because they're much simpler. You can't mess them up that easily. And that's what it's all about. And that's the main problem of the game. If you're not playing through the side content in this game, you're missing out bad. And you pretty much have to 80 or 90% the game if you want to have a good time with the game. 100%, I mean, collecting all the collectibles, doing all the challenges, that's not that important. The main thing is doing all the side stories and the main mini games, and that's about it. If you want to get out and play some of the Yakuza games, that's my personal advice to you. In the side content is where bizarre and fun world of Yakuza always comes to life. That's why it takes so long. And That's where you meet a lot of really fun shit. The story could be too serious sometimes for that kind of game, the main story, I mean. And the side stories could be really fucking stupid, like the circus guy who keeps forgetting to close the cages to his dangerous animals. I don't want to spoil them. You can, try them on your own time. They're good. I have completed all of them, or as far as I'm concerned. What about the sounds? Well, the sounds in this game are alright. They're good. Sometimes great. Even though the battle theme, like it usually goes in these in the genre, in the turn-based RPG genre, it gets slightly repetitive, and I appreciate that when you get random encounter in Sotenbori, it's a prominent location in Yakuza 2. It plays the battle theme from the Yakuza 2, Yakuza Kiwami 2 specifically, and it's fun. That is cool. I like that. And There are really some really good tracks. Some tracks are okay. Some tracks are just not my pick. But Overall, it's very good. Could be exceptional if it were like Yakuza Zero, but you know we'll see maybe in later games or the earlier games. I haven't played them all. In terms of the graphics and overall video quality, well, the game came out in 2019 and or 2020, and I personally thought that development of the technology for the graphical fidelity and all that goes a little bit too fast and with not much of a recognizable result. But this game looks slightly dated in terms of visuals. Sometimes hair could be bad looking when the color falls, in not the most um, lucky way, I'd say, or something like that. But it never looks completely bad. It looks alright most of the times. It looks okay. So I think if you're looking for the beautiful game, the environment can look very good, especially at night, with all its neon signs and everything. But the characters themselves, they will always look like mid-tier quality. It is alright. It is alright. The main character of the game is Yokohama, though, and I really appreciate what they did. It is a massive location compared to what we had before, and it is a quality. It is a very cool location. I really like the diversity of the environment and the charm that it has. It has a lot and it has everything, and I love it. I love Yokohama, and that is, I think, the best thing that came out from the game. The gameplay. Now we're starting to get to the nastier part of it. As I said before, the main gist of this game, like why it is Yakuza Like a Dragon and not Yakuza 7 in the West, is the part about conversion from action brawler kind of game into a turn-based RPG. And that part of the game really feels incomplete to me, being somewhat boring and unpolished. Um, the better part of what it is all about. Let's say, it is explained as Kasuga used to be a really big fan of the Dragon Quest series and console gaming back when he was a kid, before he went into a prison. So he always looks into fights through the prism of traditional turn-based battle. That's his perverted perception of the world is through that lens. It's because he's the main character. He looks at the world. You get it. It's his perspective, and in terms of setting, it's like Earthbound, the Mother series, the modern, but weird setting is underused, I think, in terms of RPG games. It has a lot to offer, and when you're dealing with that kind of a weird game, like one of your party members is a homeless guy who farts and barfs on other enemies and deals debuffs on them. That's fun. When your hostess, more like the girl in the party falls with a dramatic pose to debuff the enemy to drop his attack. There are a lot of those charming, aspects of the game, and it's difficult not to appreciate it. Like everything is so bizarre, nothing is bizarre. And there are also some other systems that complement that, like the essence abilities, that gave it is the late tier abilities that always have those cool visual effects. Small movies like and pound made system that you can summon people that you find all over the town for a little bit of a price to give you help in a battle. And it is all stylish, it is all fun, and it all with the spirit of the game. But what they do is they either give you a flat damage or a flat buff or a debuff to your enemy. And when the gloss from all of this stylish makeup and fun makeup is over, what you're left with is a little bit of a barren turn-based RPG. One of the main features of the previous games, for an example, that you can pick up a traffic cone or a bicycle and use it to fuck up your enemies, and it was always fun, and it was mostly effective. Here, you really don't want that, because if you do that, your damage types are screwed up, and the amount of damage you do is screwed up. Uh, in RPGs, you mostly trying to avoid unnecessary risks and unnecessary random equations. You know what I mean. If you play those kind of games. And since it is the main, um, it's what you cannot avoid. Battles is the main part of the game. Uh, it it can get really nasty. The good thing is that visiting the some food joints, the restaurants and cafes and bars is really cool because not only can you replenish your health and mana for the party, you can get slightly drunker, which gives its own benefits and not benefits. And you can get cool scenes when they talk about the food. There is a lot of those scenes, by the way. It is it is one of the better parts of the game, I think. It's like the main thing that the party does is not uncovering the mystery or something. It's going on the on the culinary sprees, having a lot of fun, eating and drinking, and partying all over the town. And that spirit of it all really gets to me. It's very fun. But the first half of the game, in terms of battles, is absurdly easy. It is, you don't get any challenge at all in the first 30 or 40 hours of the game. Like, at all. But then there comes the first difficulty spike, and the battles become somewhat tedious. The whole town, random encounters that go around town, they level up slightly, and you just have to spend more time achieving the same obvious result, like not wasting a lot of resources and getting all the benefits. But when the later part of the game comes up, that's when the bosses come out, and yeah, there were some kind of bosses throughout all the game, but it's difficult to consider them that until the late bosses. Uh, it starts with basically two of the boss fights that are an absolute fan service, which become a severe difficulty spike. I will not get much into that. If you have played, you know. If you don't, I don't want to spoil your fun. And these bosses they're alright. I really admire them, for the fan service, as I said. And in terms of mechanics, they are better than what we had before during this game. But the last boss fight is terrible. It's bad. I really hate the last boss. I I personally wiped on him twice, and the way that I had to beat him, you know, I'll get a little bit back. So he wipes me twice, because that fucker. I won't get into the spoiler zone again. He has a one shot ability, one shot, one kill. When if he gets Kasuga, your main character, it's game over instantly. And somehow he always gets to him. He barely touches anybody else. And it was so annoying that I googled it, I checked it out. Like maybe I'm missing, some kind of context there, or I don't understand some part of the fight. But no, everybody says you need to level up and be at least level 65 to attempt him. I was around level 60 flat, And I just thought to myself, man, the whole road to him was a cakewalk. The whole Millennium Tower was like, bum 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 bum, a lot of AoE abilities, like done, 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 done. There was no challenge at all. And I had to do a very specific, party composition so I could just drag this fight out. I spent overall, considering my fail attempts, around 1.5 or 2 hours on him, just just doing the same fucking bullshit, slowly dragging his HP while he deals nothing to me. In his second phase, he starts dealing some damage, but and he starts doing one shot kills, and that's bullshit. One shot kills. But since that part of the battle is managed, it's not easy. It's just so boring. It's so long. I basically had to, use one ability of four of my characters to deal damage, and other characters are all they were doing is apply buffs and debuffs, heal, and pull a lot of alcohol and other mana potions into the fourth party member, so he could just do that, do that, do that, do that, do that, do that. It was, man, it was boring, and it was, I hated every second of it. I was so glad that it was over. I was so glad the game was over, not because of the relief of the challenge, but of the relief from the tediousness. And I really hope that they will give these RPG aspect of the game a big overhaul in the next game. Because the main thing that keeps me from even thinking about playing this game again later, in a couple of years, is going through this kind of shit. It was so annoying. I hated it so much because I've done my fair share of JRPGs, and here it is the same, but it is worse because it is not even fun. So I really hope the next game fix that. But back to the good thing, back to the good part of the game. The characters, the characters are very good. I like all of the party members. I think some of them, were slightly underdeveloped. Like Zhao was underused, and one of the party members feels like he's added from DLC. She just never interacts in the main part of the story, and it's kind of bizarre. And yeah, that's about it. I love Ichiban, the main character. He is amazing. He's so charming, and the whole ending part of the game, all the the story moments, it almost made me kind of cry. It is so nice. It has this healthy dose of bullshit that you expect from anime and other forms of Japanese media, but it doesn't overstays its welcome. What good about it is really good. What bad about it is not significantly bad. And I think this game, the Yakuza 7, is, it's a pioneer in a new direction. Therefore, I expect that Infinite Wealth got a lot of things much better. Uh, this game is worse than Yakuza 0, my favorite game in the series, but it has a lot of its own fun. It's so long and the combat is so boring that I can't bring myself to do any of the post game, side content. There are new, what they call premium dungeons to grind, and I expect there is an Amon battle. Amon is a secret boss, secret last boss in all of the Yakuza games. So I expect he's here as well, and I couldn't be bothered. Um, I I just don't fucking care. I hate the fighting in these games. I don't want to grind anymore. I don't want to do anything anymore. But the path to the ending of the game is very charming, and I'm glad that I did. Management mini game took a bit of a time, wasn't too amazing. Dragon Kart, it has its own story which blocks the progression, and it stopped really early, so it could catch up at the very end of the game, at the 15th chapter, and it was very weird. I pretty much forgot how to play this mini game, and I had to learn it, again. Thankfully, it wasn't hard. Um, Girlfriend sub stories, you can get a girlfriend, because if you capped your social stats, you have six social stats, and for each stat you have each girlfriend, and these side stories, they're short and somewhat dumb. Like, you became my girlfriend because I brought you 16 flowers. Oh, alright, we talked once or twice. That's good. That's alright. And yeah, that wasn't the best part of the game, but it's fun. And the best part of the game, I think, the party member chats and their stories. Like you hang out with them in a bar, or just when you chat with them all over the town, and in restaurants. That is the fun part of the game. The Yokohama itself is very good. I loved it. And I'm really glad that I did this game. I'm really glad. Not the very best game that I have played, uh, but when you're 60 hours in and you think when this game is gonna end, but also why the fuck it is so good still, these kind of questions pop up into your head. Mm, I think it's not too bad of a problem to have. But still, now it is done. I'm glad about it, and I will definitely try out some other games in the franchise. I still haven't completed Yakuza Kiwami 2. I have played it a couple of years back. I will have to start over, I guess. But alright, and I always wanted to try the Judgment series. I heard that they were amazing. And Yakuza, the man who erased his name, which came out a couple of years back, I heard that it was made by RGG Studios like in a half of a year, and the result was fucking amazing. So yeah, I'm looking up to that. But right now, I have to, you know, I have to rest from this franchise. This game was so fucking long, and I have bought Sekiro. I tried it out yesterday. Uh, the game looks gloriously. The visuals of this game are very good, and so far, the I feel that this game is gonna be good. So maybe it's the thing that we will talk about the next time. But I still have other things to talk about. So I hope you stay around, and until next time, take care.